You all right over there?
No,
Okay.
I'm not. I'm a guy that's always happy and positive, but the only time I've been this edgy before games is I've been at Barstool is before Saints-Bucks playoff game. I'm freaking.
I mean, you are very, very nervous. You people don't know it, but you just sat down for the first time. You like paced around the studio forever.
I couldn't. I barely slept last night. I'm that nervous about this
It's
game.
just college baseball.
I
man.
love college baseball. That's why Ole Miss baseball is one of my favorite. Ole Miss baseball, Ole Miss football, and Saints football are my favorite three.
All right, we are back. I am back. I am Brandon Walker. I am back from 4 days on the road. I went to Louisville, Kentucky to do some wrestling stuff down there. In my absence, I was helped greatly by two gentlemen, the one to my right who I was just talking to. Ben Mintz hosted on Wednesday. And then Rico, shout out to Rico, he hosted on Thursday. And then Big Ev to my left, who is with us today, he hosted on Friday. And it went over very, very well. I appreciate you, Big Ev, for stepping in and filling the gap for me.
I tried. I thought it went well. We ate up some airtime pretty well.
Yeah, no, it was very good. And Ben, yours was good as always. And Rico, he's out there somewhere listening to Whitney Houston, and he was good as well. But I am back now and back for the foreseeable future, at least until my 4-week vacation in July gets here.
What?
Huh?
You have a 4-week July vacation? Okay.
You judging vacations now?
Hell no. You've done a lot more here than I have.
Okay, all right.
I can assure you, July, I'm going to have the Ben summer of New York and get to know New York. And my ass is going to be in this office.
I love I love that you planned that out, the summer of New York.
Well, I mean, it's my one. Never been here, you know.
And we're actually going to have a summer this time as opposed to last year when we were all scared of our shadow and everything. So it's nice and back out there. I traveled to Kentucky last week. It's nice and back down there. So, yeah, you'll have a good summer. And, no, I'm not going to have a 4-week vacation. I'll probably go somewhere for a week or two. I'm definitely going to go back to Mississippi for a little bit this summer.
Do we get July 4th any days?
Oh, we'll get a week.
Okay.
They'll shut the office down for a week.
Okay.
I would assume they've done it every year since I've been here.
I would
so.
think
It's the week after July 4th.
Oh, the week after this year, because July 4th is on a Saturday this year.
Correct.
So yeah, I guess we'll get that. Well, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate you, TJ, for filling that gap for me. All right. So it is Pick Central. We're talking gambling. We're talking sports, and there's a shit ton of things going on in the world of sports. There's golfers out there winning tournaments by Saturday and getting disqualified due to COVID. There's boxing matches that aren't really boxing matches, but people get mad because it's not a boxing match, even though they bought it knowing it wasn't going to be a boxing match, but it's still two good fighters. People just getting all up in their feelings about that shit. You've got the Yankees getting swept by the Red Sox. We've got NBA playoffs. LeBron is out. All hell is breaking loose. James Harden's hurt. There's a shit ton of things to talk about. Mincy's all he's worried about is college baseball right now. It's a huge day in college baseball. Julio Jones is now a Titan.
Yep.
He's no longer a Falcon, and we will start right there. Then we'll get to the Paul fight in a minute, but let's start right there. Yesterday, the Tennessee Titans, acquiring Julio Jones, a very, very good and an elite receiver from the Atlanta Falcons in the middle of his career. I think he's 31, so probably 3 to 5 really good years left, I would think, if he follows the same pattern. I will open it up to you guys, but my first reaction when I heard it was, it was like, to me, the Titans, to become a Super Bowl team, adding a receiver isn't the answer to that.
I mean, they got better. I'll say, like, the offense got better. I mean, last year, they scored a ton of points already. Like, their defense was their
Correct.
issue.
Their defense is their issue.
I love taking their overs because they scored a ton. They gave up a ton of
Secondary
points.
was trash last year.
And I just don't know. You know, you can approach not having a great defense several ways. You can just improve your offense and win shootouts. You can try to become unstoppable, and that is what they're going for, because they have A.J. Brown, a young up-and-coming number one receiver. Now they have just traded for a number one receiver, and they still got Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs in the game. Ryan Tannehill, a very steady quarterback. So, yeah, the Titans, I think they got marginally better, though. I don't think they got a lot better.
Julio Jones isn't the move that, like you said, I don't think it's the move that gets them over the hump. But just when you look at the offense, you have two top 10 receivers in the NFL right now, the best running back, a good offensive line,
Jonas
like you
Smith,
said, a steady quarterback. Jonu's at on the Patriots now.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
But still, tons of weapons on offense. They can run the ball. They can control games like that. It's just if the defense can turn around. They're a legit Super Bowl contender if the defense is there. They were right there 2 years ago. They were back in the playoffs last year. I mean, they're a very good football team. I like Vrabel a lot.
Yeah, I like Vrabel too. I do they have 2 top 10 receivers?
I think A.J. Brown's there.
I think AJ is.
I think he's going to be. Is he there already?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay.
I personally do.
Julio, I just worry about his health. He seems like he has he has trouble staying healthy 16 games. With Julio and A.J. Brown, you might as well have O linemen or receivers too. How good they can block.
Yeah, no, it's bold. I'll give them that. And they didn't have to break the bank. A 2nd and 4th round pick. If I can take a chance at number 1 receiver using a 2nd and 4th round pick, I take that every single time.
Yeah, just do because I think I was seeing a ton of that people being like, oh, like they didn't have to give up that much. Why didn't more teams go after him? I mean, you don't see a ton of teams win Super Bowls with big, high-paid receivers.
No,
it just doesn't happen that often. I think Julio is the right move if you were like that position away. Like we said, I don't know if that's where the Titans are really at. I think it definitely helps the team, but I don't think teams are just jumping off their chairs to give a 1st-round pick to a 31-year-old receiver who makes $15 million a year.
Yeah. No, and that's a big part of it too, eating a chunk of that salary cap. Now Atlanta's able to get out from under that, and they can build in other ways. Plus, they got Kyle Pitts coming in. I think Atlanta's if they were going to lose Julio anyway because of cap problems, I think they did pretty good. I think they did.
I think they did fine. I mean, they're going to be in a transition period. I mean, Matt Ryan's getting close to the end. Like, I could see this potentially being his last season as the quarterback, especially if things don't go well this year, which, I mean, I wouldn't say they're projected to go great.
The chat does not believe A.J. Brown's a top 10 receiver.
Really?
I don't think he is either. I think he's on his way. I don't think he's there yet.
I think he's like right there. I mean, if you're gonna say like he's definitely.
I guess I would have to think. I would have to think about the receivers in the league, and
because I mean, what would you say that? I mean, he has to be top 15. I mean, I don't think you could sit here and tell me 15 receivers are better than him right now.
No, and I couldn't. I don't think I could name 15 receivers that are better than him. Although, I'd say DK's ahead of him. Wouldn't
They're
you?
close. I don't know. AJ's been more consistent than DK though. I think.
DK's been a bigger like home run threat, but I think AJ Brown's like more catches.
And AJ's rookie year, I mean, he led the NFL in receiving the last 6 weeks of his rookie year. He's been a monster.
Looks like I misread it. Looks like they were saying, yes, he's easily a top 10 receiver. Okay, fair enough.
I mean, last year he was. I mean, he's 2 years in the league. He's been phenomenal. I mean, great athlete. I mean, he's a big guy too. Because I think he kind of checks both boxes. Where he's like he can be like a possession receiver, but he's also like he's a big play threat too.
Yeah,
like,
bad person though. All right, so
from Starkville,
not from my hometown. I'm from West Point. We produce champions.
Golden Triangle though.
We produce champions at West Point High School, the greatest high school football program in the history of the state of Mississippi. All right, so yeah, Julio now a Titan. It's blockbuster news. It's one of those blockbuster trades that doesn't move the needle for me very much at all. And if that's a bad reaction, I'll own that bad reaction. But I don't know where Julio could have gone where I would have sat up in my chair and be like, oh, the game has changed.
Yeah, I think I had said the team I wanted to see who get him was the Colts. I think the Titans. I think already having A.J. Brown and Derrick Henry makes it less sexy because it's like they already were a hot offensive team. Like I think if there was a team that didn't have a receiver and you're like, oh, now they have a number one.
I actually thought he was going to go to the Ravens because the Ravens have been looking for like an outside guy.
Like that, I think people would have been more like, if he went to the Ravens.
That's what they're missing. They got Hollywood Brown who's a deep threat, but he's small. They get those tight ends. But if they could have gotten a guy on the edge, and Lamar's still on a rookie contract, I actually thought that's where he was.
They drafted Bateman, but he's still not. He's an outside receiver, but he's still not like he's 6 foot. He's not like the biggest guy.
Yeah, I tell you what I kind of like Julio as the most, kind of like Derrick Henry insurance, because Derrick Henry has got his money. Derrick Henry is a very good running back. Derrick Henry is one of the best running backs in the league, but you never know when that running back dream is just going to end. I mean, running backs stop being all that productive like overnight, and you can never bank. I don't think you can bank on a running back being good 3 years from now or 5 years from now, but you can bank on A.J. Brown and Julio Jones being good 3 years from now for sure. So I think if you ever see a slowdown of the Derrick Henry train, well, that doesn't mean now that the Titans' offense is going to slow down. It just means it changes.
And maybe they're going to like be conscious of Henry's work. I mean, granted, his workload's been just insane all the way through high school. I mean, he was one of the high school all-time leading rushers out of Pensacola. And then you look at his college workload. They're giving him the ball 40 times a game. He's carried it like that in the NFL. Maybe they scale back and throw a little more, being conscious as he ages now.
No, you idiot. Sal Pinola's not number one. Sal Pinola recruited during their one dynasty. They had one dynasty where they won like 9 in a row. But as soon as the state stepped in and said no more recruiting, they sucked again. So, no, they're a fake dynasty. We're a real dynasty. 11 state championships. All right? Don't bring that Sal Pinola shit here.
The University of South Panola.
Yeah, the university. Yeah, they were. Guess what? Mississippi stepped in and said, "Hey, no more recruiting. South Pinola's no good. North Pinola's all of a sudden really good."
It was
crazy how that happens.
It was funny. Ole Miss had to put a guidance counselor on South Pinola's staff because all their kids couldn't qualify. It was like a huge.
Not that you guys have ever worried about qualifying.
Fair enough.
All right, so we got a lot to talk about today, a lot of sports. We're going to get into the Paul fight right now. But the sport of business means demanding excellence from your craft and wardrobe. And, fellas, I mean, I look incredible today. I look absolutely incredible. But underneath all this, I have this very versatile, very, very comfortable Cuts Clothing T-shirt. They've got timeless style and comfort. You look as good as you feel. For that, there's Cuts Clothing. They've taken a classic men's fashion staple, the plain tee, and they've refined it, combining premium quality with a minimalist aesthetic. They've got T-shirts, polos, hoodies, and crew sweatshirts that are made for the man who works hard, me, plays hard, not me, and never settles for less, all in the sport of business. They're built for performance in the boardroom, the bar, the gym, probably the bedroom too. Cuts Clothing keeps you sharp wherever the game takes you. They've got the perfect T-shirt that is accomplished. Next, Cuts set out to create fabric uniquely engineered for each clothing style. They've got the new Cuts hoodie where they develop Hyperloop French terry fabric, a textile that's temperature controlled and ageless. Ageless, that sounds pretty good. You'll never need to take it off, and you certainly won't want to. It's not just a lifestyle. It's not just clothing. It's office leisure apparel for the sport of business. Get 15% off your first order by going to cutsclothing.com/picks. That's cutsclothing.com/PICKS for 15% off, the only shirt worth wearing. All right. I just need to know that you're going to be okay through this day.
I'm going to be okay.
Ole Miss plays Southern Miss at
right after this is over.
At 1 o'clock Eastern, noon Central Time.
ESPN 2. We're going to have it on in the Gambling Cave here. And I know Mississippi State actually starting in like 1 or 2 minutes, but I noticed a lot less stress for you today.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't really care about college. College baseball is perfect for me because I can helicopter in. I can wear the state jersey. I can enjoy the fruits of it. I can enjoy the victories, but the losses really don't bother me. I don't really care about college baseball. But, you know, I guess I'd be a little sad if Mississippi State lost. But we also play Campbell. Not a major team.
And you have to lose twice.
And we have to lose twice. You guys it's nut-cutting time for you.
Yeah, and look, let's just be truthful. I mean, this Ole Miss has had a lot of really good teams the last 20 years and a lot of postseason heartache. And so because of that, the fan base is just super on edge because we've been down this road. And then also Ole Miss playing Southern Miss, in-state Mississippi school, who loves to beat Ole Miss in state any chance they get. And so that factor is also makes it edgy. And so, I mean, yeah, I'm on edge. And also – one of my favorite things, I'm in a left field tailgate at Ole Miss. I mean, I'm super diehard Ole Miss baseball. I'm pushing college baseball up here. There's nothing I would love more in the world than Ole Miss to make Omaha when I'm going out there to cover it. So, yeah, a lot on the line today.
Here's a list of the 10 receivers. Walter Limbeck says it. Hopkins,
okay.
Julio, Hill, Allen, Diggs, A-Rob, Tay Adams, Evans, Mike Thomas. I don't think Mike Thomas is still.
Allen Robinson is not better than A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
I'm going to immediately put a stop to that.
Well, I'm just reading you the list. Thielen, DK, Woods, Kupp. I don't think Kupp's better than A.J. Brown.
Thielen and Woods, no chance.
Yeah, Woods, no. I would say Hopkins, yeah. Julio, yeah.
Yeah, I think Mike Evans is fair.
Mike Evans. Diggs probably, too.
Yeah, Diggs almost led the league this year.
And then Devontae Adams, yeah.
Yeah, Devontae Adams.
For sure.
Devontae Adams, no doubt about it.
All right, so we're going to talk about soccer. Quit ruining the chat by saying soccer, soccer, soccer. That's the problem with soccer fans. Always, look at me, look at me, look at me. All right, it was a good game. It was an awesome game. We're going to talk about soccer in a minute. But quit making your thing all caps. Quit trying to say, oh, poor us. You've sucked for so long. We'll get to USA Soccer in a minute. Shut the fuck up. Big F. Last night, we had a fight. Last night was a weird sports night.
Yeah,
it was just a random Sunday in June. Sunday. Well, there's never a title or a prize fight on a Sunday.
No, literally never.
And so last night, which usually a sleepy day, you had NBA playoffs only had 2 games. NHL playoffs, they have 1 or 2 games. And then you just had a random soccer game that meant a lot to the U.S., and then you had the fight. You had Logan Paul against Floyd Mayweather. I didn't buy it. I'm not going to pretend that I did. I watched some clips just like everybody else. You watched it and have very strong opinions about it.
I bought it. I bought it legally. So we talked about it a lot on Friday on the show. TJ actually chimed in, kind of like TJ actually had made a great, just jumped in and was like, listen, like we all know what this is going to be. It's going to be a glorified sparring match. It's going to be a pillow fight. We know what it is. That's pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
My thing was, I don't understand people that bought it and then are like, this is bullshit. They didn't really like go for it. I want my money back. Acting like they bought a fight expecting to see Ali versus Frazier in their prime. That's not what it was. That's not what it's going to be. For those who didn't watch, it was an 8-round fight. Floyd basically felt him out for 2 rounds. The third round, basically, I would say from the 3rd round to the 6th round, he was pretty aggressive. Logan did a good job of not getting finished. He kind of just would tie him up. Floyd hit him decently a few times. Maybe rang his bell. I would never say Logan was in like, there was never a point like, oh, he's about to get knocked out. Never at any point. He touched Floyd a couple times, which I actually give him respect. He legitimately touched him with a combo, like bang, bang. I think Floyd after the fight said he wasn't going to fight again. I think it was a combo of a couple things. I think he's old. He didn't train as hard for this fight as he did for McGregor. Obviously, like Pacquiao and all those make sense.
Yeah.
The size difference, what ended up being, I think, a pretty big factor. He was huge. He was, I think, 6 inches taller, 35 pounds heavier, almost, I think, 15, 18 years younger. I think from rounds 3 to 6, he legitimately tried to finish him, and I honestly don't think he could. And then 7, 8, I think he kind of was like.
You think Mayweather tried and failed to finish him?
I don't think from those 4 rounds, I think he legitimately was like trying to. I'm not saying like I think if he could have put him down, he would have.
I think Floyd Mayweather is a boxer secondary. He's one of the greatest boxers of all time, but that's secondary to Floyd Mayweather, the businessman.
Yes, for sure.
And I think Floyd Mayweather, the businessman, had no desire to put Logan Paul down.
I kind of think he wanted to. Like I think from 3 to 6, I think he realized. I think Logan did a good job of just like tying him up. Yeah. So his chances to knock him out were like slim. Like he connected a few times, like pretty solidly. He's not a knockout artist. He's fighting a guy who's usually 50 pounds heavier than the guy he was usually fighting. Yeah. 6 inches taller. I think he tried. I think for like 4 rounds, you saw he was putting the glove. He was just going like this and just going forward, just forward pressure. He was hitting him. I don't think it was really. It just what like. I think after the 6th round, he kind of was like, all right, like. It's not happening. I'm gonna dance, and I think Logan Paul kind of gained his respect a little bit.
I do think that. I think that's legitimate. I think Logan Paul probably took more of a beating than Mayweather thought he could take. But I think had Mayweather wanted to end that fight, he could have done it at any moment.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Because I think he would.
I didn't watch the fight. I just watched whatever made it to Twitter.
I think if he because I think he would have. Like I think at least by like the 4th, 5th, 6th round. I think he would have. I mean, he ended it with McGregor, which, like I said, I think he trained way harder. I think also there's going to be a big difference between 40 and now he's 44, almost 45.
Yeah.
He's getting old. Like, he's getting old.
I do disagree with one thing.
He didn't train super hard.
I think he's going to fight until his legs fall off.
Oh, no. I could see him. He said after the fight, he said he didn't think he would do in their exhibition. And I think part of that, like my philosophy, I think he came in there and I think part of his ego was like, I think I couldn't knock this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was, like, he was, like, even though he's huge, like, I think part of him was, like, I'm old. I'm not as quick as I used to be. He never was the most powerful guy. He's lost some power. I'm sure the chat's probably hating me for this because I think what it is
no, they're good.
I think a lot of the people that wanted to see Logan Paul get knocked out, I think they were pissed that didn't happen.
I wonder how many people that would buy a Logan Paul fight buy it on the hopes that he gets knocked out. So I think all the people that buy Logan Paul fights are kind of in on the idea of Logan Paul being this guy. I want to give him credit for one thing. Logan Paul is a YouTuber, and by YouTuber I mean he's an entertainer. That's where he came from. He has built a brand out of entertainment. He and his brother. He decided at some point, he and his brother both decided, I want to become a legitimate fighter, a legitimate boxer. And whether you think he's legitimate or not, the only thing that's really legitimate in this world of sports or boxing is the money you make. Mm-hmm. You can be the toughest, strongest motherfucker ever. If you're fighting 3-round fights in a bar in Tijuana, you don't matter. Logan Paul matters. What Logan Paul does matters, and he just did that on his own. He has created this empire, a boxing empire, which is crazy. It's wild.
I mean, you're seeing it with like a Tyron Woodley, 5-time UFC champion. His biggest payday of his life is going to be when he fights Jake Paul. This man had the belt for almost 3 years straight.
Think about that from a UFC perspective.
Defended it 5 times, like a legitimate champion.
Think of that from a UFC fighter's perspective. What you want to do is you want to take this training and you want to put your body through hell and you want to go into these fights. You want to go through 30 professional fights or pure ass hell and put yourself in danger, all for the chance to get famous enough to fight a Paul brother and cash out.
Literally.
Think about that.
It's the sad truth that even like Francis Ngannou talked about it last night. This man is the heavyweight champion of the world. He has an opportunity to be, I'm not going to sit here and say the next Tyson because that's such a high peak, but he is the most prolific power puncher in combat sports right now. I think that's fair to say. He's a monster. He's an absolute knockout artist. Huge, savage, looks like a Greek god, and he can't get even close to Logan Paul money to fight for a UFC championship. Not even close.
Yeah, it's and there's one guy saying, Ben Mance is all of us right now, just scrolling his phone, waiting until a topic we actually care about. If you looked at Twitter last night,
people care.
If you see the buying numbers, the buy rate, people cared.
Showtime was crashing.
People fucking cared. This was as listen. Is the soccer game match a more legitimate sporting event? Yes,
for sure.
This fight. And that made a lot of buzz.
Yep.
A lot of buzz. This fight dwarfed that as far as buzz goes.
And the soccer game, it took for Pulisic to score like a 113th minute PK to win the game.
Yeah, I definitely want to transition to the soccer though because it was. We'll talk about that in a second. The blue light glasses that started it all. 5 years ago, Felix Gray realized our eyes weren't meant to look at screens all day and designed glasses to make daily screen time more comfortable and the workday more productive. Now, more than ever, Americans are spending time on computers, phones, tablets, gaming, and so many other sources of blue light. Felix Gray glasses are not like other blue light lenses. They filter 15 times more blue light that can make screen time tough on the eyes and disruptive to sleep. They've got non-prescription and prescription glasses available. Check them out at felixgrayglasses.com/picks. I was on the website today. I'm picking out some. You know, I get the migraines. So I'm looking for some light-sensitive glasses. I figured it out. I think it's heat and light. And light contributes to my migraines big time. I can't wait to get these Felix Gray glasses. They offer classic frame styles made from acetate and hand finish for a durable, lightweight, and really comfortable pair of glasses. If you can feel your screen time, or if you're not sure blue light glasses are right for you, start with the best in blue light. Try Felix Gray. With a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's nothing to lose but eye strain. Get yourself a pair of glasses made for the 21st century and designed for modern, hardworking eyes. You have nothing to lose, except maybe eye strain. Go to felixgrayglasses.com/picks for the best blue light glasses on the market. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/picks. Free shipping, free returns, free exchanges. felixgrayglasses.com/picks. Now, that being said, soccer was electric last night.
It was.
It was fucking electric. It was fantastic. And the one thing I've always said it, but I think everybody's always said it, if soccer is ever to truly grow in this country and truly explode like it has exploded everywhere, the men's national team in the U.S. has to get good. They've got to show at these international events. They got to have a strong World Cup. If we ever made like the Final Four of the World Cup, I think that your explosion happens after that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I am a casual soccer fan. Now, I will admit, soccer is intense and it is great. I just don't have an entry point into Premier League soccer. I can't fake having a team. I can't just say Chelsea. Oh, Chelsea. I'm a huge Chelsea. I can't do that.
I can't either.
It has to come from a place of passion, and I don't have that with soccer. Now, U.S. soccer, I can get passionate about that. 2014, the last time we were in the World Cup, I was all about that team that year.
Same.
I was wearing the U.S. flag. I was huge. So, last night, CONCACAF, is that how? Okay.
CONCACAF.
Yep. CONCACAF championship, U.S. against Mexico. And now Mexico has been the bane of our existence in soccer for a long time. And they play. Now, there's so much that goes into the match, so much that goes into the game. There's chants, and they have to stop play, and there's this and that. But ultimately, the story is United States 3, Mexico 2. And if you start having these primetime games, these big games, U.S. against other countries like Mexico, and U.S. and fans go into, because here's the thing. I figured this out about college football or college sports in general. Fans don't really, a lot of fans don't really care about the sports. They care about winning.
Yes.
Fans don't root for sports as much as they root for winning. And like Mississippi State, Ole Miss, we'll use them for an example. 2 years ago, Mississippi State women's basketball played for a national title, and we had 11,000 people in the stands every time. Why? Because they won. There's not a Mississippi State fan in the world that really gave a shit about women's basketball, but they won. We care about winners. And if the U.S. gives us winners, soccer is going to be all the better.
For sure. I mean, that obviously everyone's kind of made the whole argument for a long time that the reason we're behind in soccer is because we just have all these other sports that are taking the elite athletes. And that's why we've seen, like, women's soccer, our team is phenomenal. We're the best. But I agree with you. I think it would take, like, a deep run in a World Cup, something like that, to really get America kind of like behind the team. Like, you know, I was behind, like, that 2014. They made a decent run, a better run than I feel like they've made in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I remember they lost to Belgium. I believe
Belgium
that was
16.
That was how they got bounced, and
Round of
that was probably better than they even expected to do before the tournament started. But there's just a lot of competition in America. That's what it comes down to.
This is the group, though. This is the group. I strongly believe that the next two, so not Qatar, but the next two World Cups after that, you guys are going to be.
So this team is very, very young.
Young group, young core
Pulisic.
group. The kids are very talented. I mean, your whole starting lineup pretty much plays in the elite leagues in Europe and all that. So
How old is Pulisic?
Pulisic is 20, 21.
Oh,
He's still just 21?
21. So he's not. He's
Okay.
He's like.
Wow. If you told me
Actually,
he
wait,
was
hold
like
on.
30, I
Let
would
me check
believe
He
you.
it.
feels like he's been around for a minute.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's see, Pulisic.
Man, I just I remember that 2000. Did my mic go out?
22.
Did my mic go out?
No,
I can't hear a thing. Did my headphones go out?
you're fine.
Okay.
He's
All
going
right.
to be 23 in September. So
My
wow,
headphones
very young.
are out. So, but my mic is good apparently. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I remember that 2014 run. I was big into it. I can't remember who we beat. That's how well I remember. But I do remember the game against Belgium. That fucking red-haired dude, De Bruyne.
And the
or
one with the
something?
huge afro.
Yeah, that guy was good.
There was some guy with a big afro, I remember.
Oh, just relax, Za. Everything getting fixed? Mint's over here is just texting people in Oxford.
Yeah, no, I'm actually texting Coley because I wrote a blog on to preview
Did
today's college baseball gambling.
Oh,
line,
that-
so we
that'll
got
do it.
Sportsbook.
Did you see my tweet last night about the Ole Miss fan who tried to catch the home run ball?
Yeah, I saw it went off. I saw it went off. I thought it was funny. And then I also saw your tweet about you pitching for the Florida State Seminoles, too.
Yeah, no, Brandon Walker. Yeah,
Looked right at home at Swayze Field.
13th appearance. But my thing about that, it happened to be an Ole Miss fan. It happened to be an Ole Miss home run. But I just love. I hate when adults try to get in front of kids or try to catch a ball in front of kids. And that's what he was doing. He's trying to get in front of this kid, right? The kid's about to catch it. This adult runs down there to get the ball and it falls on his ass. Look at him. Oh, I'm going to. Oh. I just love this
I feel
clip.
like I could see that happening to me so easily.
I love this clip so very much. It happens to be an Ole Miss guy, but this guy had such great plans. And
the way he falls is just hilarious.
you know what's great about it? If he had never left his seat, he catches that ball standing at his seat.
We cut off a little 6-year-old in the blue T-shirt.
Yeah. He had to get in front of little Benji down there to go fucking get a ball. So I love that clip a lot. But yeah, there's an energy to soccer that I've always been jealous of. There's an accessibility to it that Americans have never really gotten into. But it's a game where it's 45 minutes, no commercials, break, 45 minutes, no commercials, and that last 45 minutes, it's all intense. It's all edge of your seat. And Americans just like, and I'm not saying I'm a big soccer fan, but I'm saying the problem I think Americans have is, you don't want to watch a game that ends 1-0 or 1-1. You don't. I think the fact that there's draws is what keeps Americans away.
But yesterday's game was perfect, man. I wish I was so sad to be on. I forgot what it was on, like on CBS Sports Network or something hidden behind that, because it was a perfect game to market it to the American audience. It had everything that American fans wanted.
It took me a minute to find it. It took me like 10 minutes to find it.
You see, that's problem number one right there. And then like the penalty kick save in the last second and the dying second of extra time. That moment itself is like that's going to be that goalkeeper's greatest moment ever in his life.
But that being said, if the U.S. is able to springboard this and become respected on the international stage, well, in 4 years, let's say they make a good run in Qatar, right? Let's say they make a good run in 4 years when they do this CONCACAF again or whenever it is. Then that game won't be on CBSSports.com anymore. It'll be on CBS.
That's the hope.
If we can build and build and build, then,
That is the hope.
then these games will be on national primetime TV.
And I feel like with this group, this young group of exciting players, this might be the time. Perfect time to grow it.
B-Walk, do you have the state game on in studio? I do not. I told them I would not be able to focus if they put the state game on the screen.
2-0 State already, bottom of the first. I have State minus 295. One of my picks today.
Actually, I have State as a pick too. But yeah, so I could not. I think I tried it one time this year where I tried Mississippi State basketball as the SEC tournament. I couldn't do it. I was on the yak. I was useless. So I would become useless if I tried. That's an old fella. What else? Okay, we got a lot of
NBA,
a lot of sports, a lot of NBA. Why don't we go ahead and do picks at the midpoint of the show, and then we'll talk NBA. We'll talk LeBron James. Is he done? We'll talk about Major League Baseball. DeGrom is flirting with history. The Yankees have taken a step back. We can talk a little college baseball. Got a lot to talk about. Well, let's do picks right now. Side note, I have been straight garbage this month. It's early in the month.
Still early.
I've been straight garbage. You have not. You've been quite good.
Well, finally, we got college baseball lines on the sports book, and just huge shout-outs to our friends at Penn on this because I really appreciate them helping get these lines up in the NCAA tourney. I was told we were going to have lines for Omaha. Then I heard we might for Super Regionals. The next thing I know, last week we have regional prices, and right now I have like 4 future regional bets on the line today in Game 7s. I could end up a ton of units with some sweats I still have. I've got Cal Irvine plus 450, LSU plus 200, Old Dominion plus 130, and Dallas Baptist plus 500, Texas Tech 1, and then I have a couple that are dead. And then Vanderbilt already moved on that natty bet. And so I've got some good sweats. But just thanks to them, though. I'm really trying to push the college baseball. We got a lot of good response on Twitter to it, and just appreciate Penn helping support.
All right, fuck. Are we down 3-2 now? Or did we just give up 3 runs in the first inning? We're changing pitchers already? See, chat, don't do this. I'll have to close the chat. I can't. Now I'm mad. I was fine. Now I'm mad. I don't want to watch the game, and now I'm being told we're down 3-2. Are they lying to me? I don't think they are because there's enough of them that I think it's real.
I'm still seeing 2-0 on my D1 baseball, but I'm not really.
D1 baseball, they're slow as shit.
Yeah.
They're good, but they're slow.
They are good though.
They are good. You know those guys?
I've met Teddy one of the writers I've had on the radio.
Cahill.
Yeah, Cahill. I used to go on.
Who's Kendall Rogers with?
He just does his own thing with D1 baseball. He's from Houston. He was an Aggie, but he does a damn good job. I mean, I got to give him credit. Charles
McGee says, Mintz, are you officially coming to Omaha for the College World Series?
I am. I don't know how long I'm going to be out there yet, but what I know is, luckily, Penn, we've got Ameristar Council Bluffs. They have a nice sports book. It's literally, Council Bluffs is 5 minutes from Omaha. It's right on that Iowa-Nebraska border. We're going to be staying out there, looking to hopefully do some shows and sports books, some Stooley meetups. To be transparent, a big thing on Omaha, these fan bases that are like super diehard, getting there would be good. Like Texas, Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, LSU, Tennessee, all the ones that'll bring a shit ton of fans, that would be good. But the way COVID, you look at all these sporting events coming out of COVID, all these crowds are nuts. I think Omaha's going to be a party after they didn't have it last year.
So I am going, if Mississippi State goes, I'm going to come with you. But I'm not going to come unless Mississippi State goes. So now we're down 3-2. Now I'm all pissed off about it. Let's do picks. Let's do fucking picks. I don't know who did the best over the weekend, so I will just start with Ben because he is in first place. Ben Mintz, you are free to lead us off.
Okay, I'm going to lead us off. I just went all college baseball today because it's regional finals. It's do or die, winner take all. I have Mississippi State minus 295 against Campbell. LSU tonight. What a story. Paul Maneri already retired. This is his last ride. It reminds me a lot of 2019. Florida State snuck in the NCAA tournament. Mike Martin, the legendary coach's last ride, then made it to Omaha. LSU fought out of the losers bracket. They beat Gonzaga and Oregon yesterday. They're plus 160 against Oregon tonight. Look, Oregon's the number 14 seed, but they're not like a baseball power traditionally. I think LSU's got momentum. They got postseason mojo. I think they win. I've got Dallas Baptist, who's in a winner-take-all against Oregon State. It's in Fort Worth. I think Dallas Baptist has a slight home field advantage. I've got Old Dominion minus 112. They're playing Virginia. matchup of two in-state schools. Old Dominion's got a superpower lineup, one of the nation's leaders in home runs. They won Conference USA in their tournament. I think they get it done. And finally, I'm a homer. I'm going with Ole Miss minus 121 against Southern Miss. Ole Miss is throwing a freshman named Jack Doherty, who I think can give them 4 to 5 good innings. I think it's going to be a super high-scoring game. Southern Miss's pitching staff's down to scraps. I think Ole Miss has a deep lineup and gets it done, but I'm definitely edgy.
Why do you think you would be getting gruff from the chat right now? Why would you think? Look at that board and tell me what the chat's complaining about.
That I took State.
Minus 295, yeah.
Yeah, but Campbell, even though they're down 3-2, Campbell allowed 10 runs yesterday. State's only played 2 games. They played Friday and Saturday. They got a rested pitching staff. They got an unbelievable home field at the Dude in Starkville that really rattles like your G5 schools that have never seen anything like it. Even though they're down 3-2, I think State's going to win. I mean, I'm not a State fan by any means, but gambling, money knows no loyalty. State's going to win the damn game.
All right, Big F.
All right, just 3 today. There's only 3 Major League Baseball games, so
Yep.
I'm on the Padres tonight, money line. Then for basketball, I've got the Bucks money line. I think they get it done today. An absolute must-win. And then I got the Nuggets +5. I just think they're playing really well right now. With Jokic, I'll take the points.
You think it's a must-win because it's game 2 and they got to get a split?
And Harden's out.
It's must-win because you get an opportunity to play him without Harden.
In the fact that they came back late, but that they essentially got blown out with them out.
All right, so I have got. I agree. I got Bucks money line. I think the Bucks. I think this is going to be a 7-game series. I think it's going to be ebbs and flows, and I think the Bucks win today. And the Nets can't stop anybody. Still, Bucks Nets over 234. I love the Islanders tonight. I like the Islanders +155. It's gone. It's gone Bruins Islanders. Right? I believe it's gone that way.
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
So I'm going with the Islanders to kind of upset that. And then Marlins money line to beat the Red Sox. The Red Sox sweep the Yankees. I think the Marlins pick them off today right there. And also I added a parlay later after I got State to get rid of the juice. Arkansas's too juicy. Mississippi State's too juicy. Parlay them together. You can get them down to minus 120 on the Barstool Sportsbook app in Illinois, Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. And I would advise you to do just that, although State has already started. So you can pick another big 250 favorite, 290 favorite.
My parlay that'll be out later today, I took LSU +160 as an underdog to up it, but I've got LSU and Arkansas on my night parlay.
So I got to ask you, Big F, you are, I would say, the number 1 writer in this room, right? The number 1 Rico writer?
Yeah, you could say that.
No, I'm not a writer. And I don't know if Ben cares.
I'm in the mentorship.
I'm a writer, so yeah.
You're a writer.
I'm in the mentorship.
So just know that if I ever identify as a writer, just come. Somebody's kidnapped me or got a gun in my head. So what about Tommy Cheeseballs?
I've not commented on it.
I know. It just happened. So Tommy Cheeseballs. It was apparently a cameo.
It was
Jeff Nadeau, and really, I mean, fuck.
What happened now?
What a move.
Oh, man. It's like I don't even know.
Have we got that, TJ?
What happened?
I don't know if the audio will work. I'll bring it up.
All right, so Tommy Cheeseballs, you know who he is?
Yeah,
No, we had
I called him Tommy Cheesepuffs on Twitter.
Yeah, and people were probably
just
going nuts.
Roasted me.
we had so the day after when he popped up, it was Pick Central, just me, Rico, and Ben Mintz. And Ben Mintz got a lesson in what is Tommy Cheeseballs from me and Rico.
Okay.
And so he got his intro lesson. He has I'd say a general understanding. When I opened Twitter, I believe it was in the morning. I believe it was Saturday morning, I believe. Yeah. And I saw Tommy Cheeseballs. And I heard the words, "What's up, Rico, you fucking Benny." For those of you who don't know what Benny means, Benny is basically someone who you're not a real shore guy. You're an outsider. Like you're not one of us.
I'm a Benny, though.
To the Jersey Shore.
I'm a Benny, though.
Oh, both of you are certainly Bennies.
That's fine.
And for someone who's a diehard shore guy to be referred to as a Benny, and for Tommy Cheeseballs of all people to have those words come out of your mouth is very tough. And here's the video. I don't know if it's going to play.
Listen, brother.
So he just takes him to task and just goes after him. And obviously he was reading the script that was given to him.
It's one of those things. I think if it was from a place of pull, I think it would have been more of like if he had just gotten Tommy Cheeseballs to say that without paying him, I think it would have been much more of a dagger. I think the fact that there's a little cameo logo in the bottom corner makes it
Your stomach
a little bit. I mean, like still, like I have to
do yourself a favor.
I have to admit, like a strong chess
move,
very strong chess move, like a well thought out chess move.
I am just realizing something. I'm going to go back right now. You guys say that came out Saturday morning.
I thought so. I think.
Okay.
I think Saturday morning.
I don't know when it. Okay. So then it doesn't line up.
What's up, you fucking Benny?
Like that pierced my
brother,
soul when I heard
out there, man. You are part of the Dickie Do Club. You know what that means? Your stomach stick out more than your Dickie do. Do yourself a favor and everybody else a favor and stay the fucking Staten Island.
Okay, I got to ask a question. I know you guys worship this guy. He was Internet 1.0, all this. How did he get famous? Dickie Do jokes? I mean, that's not funny at all.
So I think he had
was lame as shit.
I think he had him read it off the script when he had said it like off the cuff and like meant it, and you had never heard it before. It was funny. Like he called it, like when he just basically got into a little scruff with this fat guy.
Yeah.
And then they kind of were talking shit, and then he saw him again in a bathroom, and tried to like fight him. And he called him a Dickie Do.
Okay.
And then when he explained it on the show, like obviously Jeff must have sent him like a script, so you could tell he kind of was like reading off the script.
Yeah.
But when you just heard him say he was a Dickie Do, his tummy stick out more than his Dickie Do. Like when he said it off the cuff, it was extremely funny on the show.
So I mean, that was I don't know if there's a response. I'm sure there will not be a response.
I knew there wouldn't be a response. I even was surprised at how long Dave and Dan they didn't react to it for a long time.
Right.
Dave finally just like shared it. I think maybe like 36 hours later.
He tried to delete it, but he tried to get it deleted off the internet, but he accidentally retweeted it. It happens.
Yeah, it's like I said, I think it was a strong chess move, no doubt about it. I think it would have been an absolute kill shot if he didn't have to pay for it.
Y'all realize Jeff Nadeau's going to work here again very soon, right?
I don't think he is.
I think he is.
Because I think what Dave's realized is that
he's getting it for free.
He's literally getting everything he wants from him for free. So why pay him?
Yeah, that would be an all-time ironic move to wait until you leave to start being real good.
Well, I mean, Dave said on the Portnoy show that he was essentially worthless to him, besides just getting Rico,
he's Rico bait.
Just getting Rico on the pinwheel. Like he just gets Rico to run faster. So I think now he's getting it for free. So it's kind of like why pay him?
All right, so that happened this weekend. One more thing about college baseball before I move on. The fact that we have a possibility of Arkansas getting beat today is delightful, and I'll loop you in on this. You don't live in the same worlds we do as far as Twitter and all that, but the Arkansas fan base are the worst people on Twitter. They've stormed back. It was a comeback of the century. Tennessee used to own it for years. Tennessee used to be the worst fan base on Twitter. Arkansas has taken it and run with it. They're just terrible people. Ben Mintz can't say anything about baseball without Arkansas fans saying, "What about us? What about Arkansas?" Shut the fuck up. They're terrible, and they are the number one team. They're the best team in the country by far, but they might lose their regional. They play Nebraska today.
I saw. It's funny you say that because I saw some random thing on Twitter this morning. I guess not random. It was like an article. I don't know how it popped up in my timeline. An article from what looked like some sort of reporter.
No, it's from The Athletic. David Rubin,
saying that Arkansas needs to go to the Big 12 in sports.
Yeah, that's one of the dumbest things I've ever seen as well.
I don't really understand. I don't understand.
That's a very good writer who's trying to. He's basically saying they're closer to the Big 12. They would win more in the Big 12. And he's just using football. He's saying Arkansas football hasn't mattered in the SEC. I would disagree with that. They haven't mattered recently. They mattered in 2000, 2010. They won the West like 3 times.
With McFadden and Felix Jones.
They've mattered before.
And Petrino had a good team.
They've had 2 or 3 really, really bad hires in a row, but they can matter in the SEC. He was basically saying because they don't win in the SEC, they need to go to the Big 12 because they have a natural rivalry with Texas and they have natural rivals that are closer to all those. I say this: if you have gotten on a $50 million ride every year, you don't jump off the ride.
Sure not.
And then also look at their basketball. Well, now that Musselman's there, their basketball fan base is one. I mean, I agree with what you're saying. They're annoying as shit to deal with. I mean, it's really difficult, but they are loyal. I mean, they pack 18,000 to Bud Walton for basketball. They're putting 14,000.
Well, they're a good fan base.
No, exactly. And so why would they want to leave the SEC? That's the most money-making, best conference. That's just stupid.
They've also won like a shit ton of non-football in the SEC. They came within an eyelash of winning the baseball national title. They won a college basketball national title in the SEC. It was 20 years ago. But do you still have your Hogs for the Cause bracelet on?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna have to get scissors to get it off. It's so tight.
That's quite a bracelet.
Yeah, it is. It was quite a weekend too, to be honest. I had to wear these rain boots. I got blisters all over me. It got muddy out there.
How has sober Ben handle these events these days?
Man, it was fun. It was honestly, I got to tell you, and I'm gonna write a blog about this later this week. I mean, I was emotional a little bit this weekend because when I left New Orleans in 2014, I was not sober Ben, and that was probably when I needed to change some stuff up. But I love New Orleans and getting to go back and the support. I mean, New Orleans felt like Oxford. It was so big this weekend, and to get to represent that region just means a lot to me, especially with the culture and tradition. So we had a huge, huge weekend in New Orleans, and shout out to Hogs for the Cause. Barbecue and Music Fest raised $2.8 million for families fighting pediatric brain cancer, and that's in a COVID year. They had it on the West Bank. Wait till late March. I mean, I think it'd be $4 or $5 million next year. So honored to be a part of the event. I'll have I have a video blog, a bunch of Barstool content coming this week about it.
That's a lot of money to a children's hospital in Louisiana. I hope it doesn't go to a 4-star defensive back recruit.
What they do actually, Brandon, is they build houses for families to take care of all the family's needs while the kids are in the hospital. Is kind of what they do.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like Ronald McDonald's house.
No, really.
They have them in Baton Rouge and New Orleans.
Somebody says Mincy deserves a vacation. It has been 2 weeks since you went on vacation.
Well, this weekend. My head was about to explode with the NCAA tourney going on, and I was like emceeing Hogs. It was a lot to process, but it was a phenomenal weekend. My next trip is Omaha for College World Series.
These pieces of shit in the chat, man. I have one guy saying it's now 6-3 Mississippi State, and another guy saying shut down inning for the other team. So I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna have to close the chat because they won't fucking. I don't know what's going on. I don't want to know. I would rather just not know. Your scoreboard's from like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe somebody will tell me. Maybe.
I'll get on.
Imagine Brandon hating on charity. Imagine being that fucking stupid. Why are people so goddamn? I'm hating on LSU who steals from children's hospitals to give to recruits. Google one time, motherfucker. All right. So we haven't even talked about the NBA playoffs. James Harden is hurt. We got the Nets. You got the Bucks. You've got the Suns. You got the Nuggets. You got the Jazz. Here's what I love about these NBA playoffs. Now I am a LeBron stan. I've always loved LeBron. But him going out, I think, is better for the watchability of this particular group of playoffs. The last time any of these 8 teams remaining, there are 8, right?
Yes.
There are 8 teams remaining. You know the last time any of these 8 won an NBA championship? It was 38 years ago in 1983 when Dr. J and the Sixers won when they beat the Lakers.
Holy
38
shit.
years ago. I think 5 of the 8 left have never won a championship, and all the others have. It's been forever. There will be a new champion in basketball this year. There will be something fresh. And NBA is not known for fresh new champions. The Raptors did it a couple of years ago, but you can usually count on one hand. The Lakers have a chance. The Warriors the last couple of years. It's usually a very small group of fan bases that get to celebrate going deep in the playoffs. Now, Utah could win it. And I don't know. The Nets are the favorite, right? The Nets are the favorite. The Nets have to be the favorite.
Jazz are number 2, but yes.
You think the Jazz are number 2?
No, I'm Vegas odds.
Okay.
I'm saying I don't agree with that, but Vegas odds.
Jazz are up there. I mean, but I look in the West. Is there any team you could see? Did you say no? They definitely can't win the West. I mean, the Suns could win the West.
Yeah, Suns definitely.
The Jazz could win the West. The Nuggets could win the West. I
think the Clippers could
absolutely win the West.
I still think Nuggets played well. I know they're used to life without Murray because he got hurt, before the season ended. But I still feel like, man, if they won it without him, that'd be tough.
Yeah, and in the East, I mean, I think the Sixers, if everybody gets healthy, Sixers can beat the Nets, and I think the Bucks can beat the Nets.
We talked about it a lot actually last week. I feel like I'm kind of been on an island a little bit where I think a lot of people were saying that. I remember, I guess it started on the Knicks stream. I got into it a little bit with Hubs and KFC. Both thought that the Bucks had a really good shot. I really don't think so.
I think they do.
I thought this year was just going to go 5 or 6 games. Nets, I stand by that. I think Harden being out and them still winning pretty easily affirms that even more. I think they lose tonight because I think it's a tough, the Bucks have to win. They cannot go down 0-2 without Harden. I don't know what Harden's future is going to be in the series. I still just believe that the 3 of them on offense for the Nets and then with the other shooters they have around them are just like too good to stop. And I think the way Giannis plays, I just think things tighten up. I just think he's not going to get to the rim like one dribble from the 3-point line and just dunk. I don't think that's going to happen in the playoffs as easily as it does game 42 in January or whatever. I just think I just think the Nets are just that good. Like I really think they're going to win it all. I think they're going to win it all like relatively easily. Like I really don't think they're going to have a series go more than 6. And I think they're just going to kind of run through.
Yeah, it's a very it's interesting.
It sucks
I think
because
the
it's
Bucks,
like boring. Like no one wants to see.
I have
that,
no like recent history that I can point at the Bucks and say there's no playoff series where they've dominated somebody, or there's no recent history of winning. They always kind of fold in this spot. But I think the Bucks are built good, and the Nets are a team that they have elite scoring talent, but they can't defend. And if you can't defend, I feel like you are very susceptible in the playoffs. It hasn't shown yet, but I think tonight's very, very key. We will, in fact, see that. I won't talk about Trae Young in a second. Before I do that, talking about elite, how about A88 CBD? That's what we're putting our bets on here. With U.S.-grown hemp extracts and high-quality formulas, their products are winners. And when the stakes are high and life gets hectic, when the stakes are high and life gets hectic, there's nothing better than reaching for an A88 CBD product. A88 CBD is a game changer. They carry a variety of CBD products to choose from, and all of them contain exceptional ingredients and even come in convenient packaging. Try some deliciously different fruit chews and vegan gummies, perfect for taking with you on the go, or try one of their premium topicals like CBD Deep Relief Cream. Even better, A88 CBD offers free shipping on all products and a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Exceptional, premium, and convenient. What more could you ask for? Head over to A88CBD.com. Big Ev will realize that box is there eventually. And to find an exceptional CBD experience for you, use the code PICS at checkout and receive 25% off your entire purchase. That's at A88CBD.com. Code PICS at checkout to receive 25% off your entire purchase.
Honestly, someone had sent me a very interesting video. That's what I was looking at.
Oh, really?
It was a video of from the fight last night of where it appears that Mayweather stuns him and then kind of like holds him up.
So they were saying that in the chat.
So someone tweeted at me, and that's what I was zoning out watching, and I was like, it appears in that video that he did do that. I will admit if I'm wrong. It appears, I don't know, like it appears he...
So knockout blow, but hold, big fella, come stay with me.
It was right at the end of the round where Logan went to the corner and like needed help standing up, basically. Like he was so gassed.
He
that
pops
he
him with a quick right, like a short right hook.
Oh, he does kind of hold him up.
And he kind of holds him up a little bit. Like he does, like it looks like, it appears that if he hadn't grabbed him, Logan Paul might have fallen down. Which wouldn't be a knockout per se.
No, he could have gotten up. Yeah.
He could have gotten up.
Yeah.
But...
It leads credence to any theories. It leads a little credence
to my theory that he was trying as hard as he could to knock him out. I still stand by it to some degree that he was.
I think if Floyd and I said it already, if Floyd Mayweather wanted to knock him out, he knocked him out. I don't know why if there's any benefit one way or the other. It doesn't matter. That fight's over, and there will be other big fights to come. So John Rahm had a 6-shot lead at the Memorial, a 6-shot lead, and tested positive for COVID.
Wow.
And he is disqualified. He is out. Eventually, I believe, who won that? Patrick Cantlay won that. So he ends up winning his second in 3 years down there. But the big story is, we're a year and 3 months into COVID, and it seemed like we had kind of, at least as far as sports goes, it felt like we had put it in the rearview mirror. You're not really worried about teams and rosters pulling out with COVID anymore. It really hasn't become a thing. And then all of a sudden, bam, guy's about to win $1.8 million, gets COVID, has to go. It was shocking.
I just don't see why you can't let him play by himself early in the morning.
So there's a lot of that I know Rico tweeted.
Golf, they make adjustments on the fly like that all the time for rain and whatever weather.
And listen, I am Mr. Go out and enjoy your life. I'm certainly not I'm definitely not one of these COVID bros that goes out and just wants to root for COVID all the time so everybody's miserable for the rest of our lives. But I just think of the liability for that golf course, for that tournament, for that if you let John Rahm go out there, and there's no way to prove if 10 fans come down with COVID and one of them dies, there's no way to prove they didn't get it from John Rahm on Sunday, And like it seems like a logistical nightmare. Now, would that happen? Almost certainly not. But when that much money's involved, they're always going to they're going to go on the side of caution. So I see where they're coming from. I would have loved for John Rahm to have gotten a chance to because he was asymptomatic, like you said. I would love John Rahm to get a chance to go out and earn that money, but the unfortunate reality is we're living in a world where they're just not going to take chances with that.
It's just a tough break. It really is a tough.
It's the worst.
Like you said, the guy's going to win almost $2 million. He's got, a 6-shot lead after Saturday?
Yeah.
So, and also the weird thing is, too, that the test was done, obviously, before the round.
Right.
So he just went through the whole day. That's kind of where my head goes. I'm like, the damage is kind of already done, not
Correct.
to be too, like you don't want to do more damage. But that's why I don't see how they logistically couldn't have said he goes out at, say, 6 a.m.
Right.
on Sunday.
Just him and
plays no fans.
him and his bag.
Done before the fans, maybe like him, caddy. You got your like referee. I don't know what you call them in golf.
Yeah,
Just
the marshals
your
on the
marshals,
edges.
referees.
Yeah.
They kind of just oversee the round. You can even televise it if you really wanted to. And
Well,
then,
certainly put a camera on him and record it for later that day and say this was what. Speaking of 13, this is what John Rahm did this morning. But yeah, it just sucks. It sucks.
you saw that video of when they tell him like that must be just the biggest kick in the dick. You're playing an awesome 3 days, 6-shot lead. You're about to make all this money, potentially win a tournament, and then you just get told a second after a great round that you're out.
You know what I think we forget about golfers? They have to win the money.
Yeah,
They have to win the money.
they do.
Like they're not
contract.
football players. I mean, they got
endorsement contracts.
They got
but-
The
endorsement.
endorsements probably pay for all their like travel. and,
Correct, but
you
as
know.
far as what they make in turn, they have to win the money. If you go out and you
You don't make the cut, you don't get paid.
don't get a goddamn thing.
It's like poker tournaments.
Yeah, whatever appearance fee there is, but you get nothing. And like that's why in late in tournaments, a putt for bogey to go from second to fifth is a gigantic deal for these guys.
Enormous.
And so when he is on the cusp, when he is dominating a great field, he sees $1.8 million that he is about to go earn and about to put in his bank account, and boom, poof, it's gone. Stinks, but reality is reality.
Oh, no, I mean, I'd be furious. Like, who wouldn't it be?
Yeah, it's. I'm anxious to see if what do they got at the end of the season where there's some sort of bonus?
FedEx Cup.
No, not that. There's like some sort of bonus for this fan voted on. I should probably have the chat up, but they kept being mean about Mississippi State, so I had to take it down. Score still 3-2.
I believe it was on Twitter 10 minutes ago. We are going to check it.
You
The
know,
chat was just basically spamming about Saban's extension just broke.
Yeah, he got extended through
Congratulations, Nick
2029.
God damn it, 2029.
Unbelievable.
Fuck. Can he please retire?
Like, God damn, man.
You don't have to stay till 2029.
Him and Belichick are just like those like lifer, the hardworking types. Like, what else would they do? You know,
That's how I've said about Belichick for years. Like, I think he's just going to coach till he's
I could see him being
dead.
GM though.
That's what Bear Bryant did, though. Bear Bryant,
Till he died.
the year after he was out, or I think he lasted 3 months after he was done.
I really believe that they're both going to do the same thing. They're both just wired that way.
Saban
Like, they're
grew
not
up in
going to
a
just
blue-
sit
Saban
and
grew
not
up in a
coach
blue
football.
collar family. You know, like super type A,
I mean,
hardworking.
you get that successful by being someone who doesn't like to just sit around and do nothing.
Yeah,
They're just not wired to like sit out and be on vacation
Can't he go
for
coach
12 months.
Michigan or somebody? Can't he go coach somewhere else?
No, I mean not Michigan.
I'm tired of sitting. Yeah, but I got to sit with him 90 miles from my fucking house. Why don't you guys deal with him
send
for a
him out
while?
to like USC or something.
Yeah, California, son.
They could use a comeback.
Yeah,
College football is always better when the Trojans are good.
I don't know that I agree with that. You know who I would if
I think it fucks up the Pac-12. I think it makes the Pac-12 irrelevant.
everybody says, and that's fine.
True.
Everybody says like programs like USC, Texas.
Michigan.
You know who? If I could pick one program to always be good, I think it'd be Miami. They just are always so interesting when they're good.
Yeah, and the ACC needs
Yeah.
them. The ACC really needs them or Florida State to be good.
Yeah, Florida State being bad has been a killer for the ACC.
But so Michigan, who's been good for their entire existence, they haven't been good in the last 10 years. Hasn't hurt the Big Ten at all.
I heard somebody
Well,
was dropping Hugh
they
Freeze
were-
Michigan rumors this
they're
weekend,
good.
by the way.
I mean, they've been good.
No
like,
chance.
I mean, what was it? 4 years ago, they were when we played them in Ohio State, and we were underdogs. They were undefeated.
Yeah, was that
They
the
were-
1 point? That was the JT Barrett first down game.
No, that was
Haskins
we just
home.
beat them by like a million.
yeah, it was Shea.
we
Patterson.
scored 62. That was me and
Oh,
Dave.
wow.
We went to the game. We did the show at the college football show. at Ohio
62-39. I remember
State. Yeah,
that.
one of the best days of my life. I turned down a private jet to party that night and
Oh.
drive home the next day.
How was it?
Best decision of my life.
Y'all be on the lookout. Brandon and I are going to be in the gambling cave. There'll be some clips.
Maybe.
I'm going to watch Ole Miss Southern Miss.
Maybe.
I'm
I
nervous.
might jump on Ole Miss.
Come on.
when
Yeah, it's minus 121. We got a decent freshman pitching. Come on with it.
We'll see. All right, that's Pick Central. We'll be back tomorrow. Yak up next.